My name is Pauline and I'm the group leader of Group 8. In this video, I'll be playing a student that is struggling with family and financial pressures, influenced by the social media success narratives.
Hi, my name is Yudhen. I act as a student who is struggling with impulsive spending and discount anxiety triggered by this social media.
Hi, my name is Helen, and my character experience body image anxiety and self-doubt due to appearance comparison on TikTok and Instagram.
Hi, I am Kaiser. I portray a student who facing academic anxiety, constantly distracted, mobile games, and social media notification.
Hi, my name is Xian Yuan. I play a character who become emotionally dependent on likes and online validation, leading to loneliness and insecurity.
Hi, I'm Zhang Hengyu. I play the role of a clinical psychologist who observed these characters and then help to explain their emotional changes. And now, let's enjoy!
Hello everyone, welcome to Jack Therapy Room. I'm Jack Zhang, a clinical psychologist focused on everyone's digital well-being. These days, so many teenagers and even adults are struggling with social media. Is social media the root cause of the distress, or does it reflect and amplify deeper pressures like academic competition, family stress, and cultural expectation? And I've done some surveys and I got some statistics. I have 5 patients in my center recorded their changes before and after the therapy. And we will analyze what you are about to see through the lens of the philosophy and psychology. And now, let's move to their daily lives.
Inner product is called a real inner product space. You need vectors inner product space will show them your standard inner product given if we define polynomial p equals to a0 qp. Second, let r equal to c0 c1x c w vectors real inner product space V, and if K is any scalar orthogonal complement, if W is a space of real inner product space V, and then set of all vectors A, W per is a subspace of V. Secondly, the intersection of W and W plural, if A is a line times N matrix, raw space of A and raw space of A orthogonal complement to each other under
Now, let's pause the before footage. As a professional psychologist, I help my patients with breaking down the philosophical terms to brighten their ways. First, Baudrillard's happy reality. What they scroll isn't real life. It is a polished simulation. When Helen compares herself to that feed, she's not comparing to the reality, but to a hyper-real standard. Second, existentialism. With Kaizhe, notifications don't just interrupt studying, they interrupt freedom. If your attention is constantly pulled, your choices stop being deliberate, and your life becomes reaction. Third, utilitarianism. For Xianyuan and Yuhen, likes and impulse buying give quick relief, but the long-term result is anxiety, fatigue, and regret. If a habit creates more suffering than well-being overall, it fails the greatest happiness test. And finally, deontology. When Boolean's feed becomes a scoreboard, people are treated like rankings, not persons. A duty-based view reminds us to respect human dignity both online and offline. And now let's move to their after part to see their real lives. It's a philosophical shift. Reality over simulation, agency over reflex, long-term well-being over short-term hits, and dignity over comparison. And now let's go.
I realized I need to change when academic stress and social comparison on social media start to affect my mental health. Seeing others constantly post achievement made me feel anxious. Through this experience, I learned that social media is not the root cause of stress, but often implies pressure that already exists offline, such as academic and societal expectation. By becoming more mindful in how I use social media, I learned to reduce unhealthy comparison and focus on self-growth.
I realized that my anxiety wasn't come from my look, but about the comparison myself to online filter picture. Once I realized how draining that was, I stopped comparing myself with the social media.
Every time I opened social media, I saw people my age studying overseas, driving luxury cars and having expensive watches. I couldn't stop comparing, and over time, that comparison turned into self-doubt. I started to realize that my life should not depend on how other people are doing in their lives. Social media kept showing me the same definition of success: wealth, overseas education, and fast achievement. The algorithm made these images feel normal and even inevitable. I started believing that not being rich meant I had failed, but philosophically, I realized that this was a false moral standard. When I disengaged from that content, I saw that success isn't a universal formula. Then I realized that my value doesn't depend on algorithmic ideals, but on living meaningfully within my own reality.
I used to post almost every day. After posting, I would keep checking my phone, waiting for likes or comments. The turning point came when I realized my mood for the entire day depended on notifications. That's when I knew something was wrong. The algorithm trained me to associate attention with self-worth. From a philosophical perspective, this is a failure of utilitarian logic. Short-term pleasure creates long-term anxiety. When I stopped seeking validation online, my emotions stabilized.
I noticed that buying things during discount made me happy only for a moment, but the anxiety stayed, and I realized the pressure came from algorithms creating FOMO, so I decided to stop clicking discount notifications. I learned that short-term pleasure is not real happiness. From a utilitarian view, impulsive buying causes more harm than good. By focusing on real life instead of online pressure, I felt more in control and less anxious.
So, after having a long chat of my patients, here's what we discovered across these 5 cases. Social media is rarely the single root cause. More often, it's a mirror of the offline stress, then an amplifier that makes it constant. Philosophically, the real issue isn't only screen time, it's what the feed does to our idea of the good life, which is have reality replace reality. Existential pressure turns identity into performance. Utilitarian harm grows over time. And deontological duty is forgotten when we treat people like numbers. But the hopeful part is this: improvement didn't come from deleting apps. It came from rebuilding agency, authenticity, and ethical boundaries. So social media becomes a tool again, not a world they live inside. And overall, this is my survey and statistics result. My patients shift their philosophical thinking and turns into a better life. And if you want to become that person, you want to change, please call me. I'm Jack, and see you on next time.